We are we are live. And hey, Terry, you're never gonna believe this. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. Where are you
On
at?
purpose?
Yeah, on purpose. I wanted to meet my new friend Mauricio. So here we are in Medellin, Colombia. Where are you at?
I'm in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida today. There's the ocean right
Oh,
there.
wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very
So
nice.
so today we're talking about just not only leaving California, but leaving the country. So Mauricio here is going to share a little bit about what it's like for people that are in our groups. And I told Mauricio that we have over 300,000 members, and hopefully some of you guys are tuning in. And I know Terry has some questions. We only have one mic, so we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. So Terry, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mauricio, and then if you want to ask him questions, that would be awesome. I, we're just kind of doing this off the cuff. We didn't do any rehearsals, and this is my first time meeting Mauricio. So let's give it a shot. You ready, Terry?
I'm ready, David.
All right.
Hey Terry,
I'm
Mauricio here.
Mauricio. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to
Hey,
meet you too.
so tell me about where is Medellin in Colombia, and why should people who want to leave California or other parts of the United States consider moving there?
Well, I can start with where it's located. It's located 1,500 meter above sea level, so the climate is perfect. It's really nice. It's called Internal Spring, the city of Eternal Spring, because of the climate. So you can expect, yeah, like 25 degrees all year around.
Hey, Mauricio, can you
Yeah.
speak in the Queen's measurement as far as Fahrenheit,
Okay. How many
Fahrenheit
Fahrenheit?
and feet?
72 Fahrenheit.
Nice. That is
Yes,
very
it's
nice. That's
yeah,
great.
it's very nice. What differs what differs a little bit is the rainy season. But even when it's rainy season, it's not like in Thailand where it can rain the whole day or even for like weeks. Rather like 1 hour in the afternoon, sometimes in the morning. So that differs a little bit, but the temperature is the same. So I'd say, and one of the big upsides with Medellin is the quality of life in comparison to what you pay. So it's a lot of people from major cities where it's got very expensive in the US lately. Los Angeles, New York, Miami, even Chicago, and etc., who moves down here because it's also the same time zone. So people who tend to work online, it's a perfect city. It's and it's not that far away from the US. Within one flight to Miami, it's 3.5 hours. So
That's great. And
it's
then which airport do you fly into to get to Medellin?
J. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, and that changed actually only a year ago. Before that, it always been Cartagena who has been the most tourist driving city. And we passed Cartagena last year, and Medellin had over 1.5 million tourists last year, natural and international. And that being a city of 5 million inhabitants, if you include surrounding areas like Envigado, Bejo, and the smaller communities outside. So yeah, it's going upwards.
So what draws the tourists there? Why do people come and visit Medellin?
A lot because of those reasons I told you, because of the weather. So, for example, now in Europe, it's cold. A lot of places in the US, in the north. So a lot of people come down here. They take advantage of the fairly good prices and the proximity I mean, if you want to go to South America, it's one of the cities that is best infrastructure and closest. Obviously, you can go to Argentina, which we all know they have their own issues right now. But then you're talking another 6, 7 hour trip at least. Depends on
Yes.
where
All right.
in
So tell me again,
Argentina.
which airport you fly into, and how far is that from Medellin?
Yes, that airport is out in Rio Negro. Santa Maria Cordova International Airport, and it was before the tunnel that was constructed 2 years ago. It was 1 hour, and new with a new tunnel, it's like 35, 40 minutes. depending on the traffic and what time of the night of the day you come in. But we say normally, like, if you want to be good in time, 1 hour, but normally it takes like 35 minutes.
That's great. So, David, I
Go
can't
ahead.
hear you. Yeah.
David,
So,
So if we're talking about and again, I apologize, we only have one microphone. So we're talking about somebody that's leaving California, and as I mentioned before, that's what Terry and I do every week is we give people information about leaving California and moving to other states in the United States. But we know that there's other people that are interested in leaving the country and maybe moving somewhere else. Can you explain what it would look like for somebody leaving California and then maybe wanting to live here? I think I understand they can only be here for 6 months and then they have to go back. And do you deal with a lot of Americans that do that? Can you share what that process is like?
Yeah, I would say that the first distinguish would be like, what is your job? Because if you're a digital nomad, Colombia just introduced a visa this year actually, which is the digital nomad visa. And as long as you can prove that you work and get paid from a company outside of Colombia, that's one of the requirements. Then there is more that you have to talk to a lawyer about. But if you have a job that pays you and you can do that abroad, then you can stay in Colombia for 1 to 2 years with that visa. So what I would suggest is that come down on vacation, come down for 1 2 weeks. I would definitely recommend to stay in Poblado area. So when you come to Medellin, there is two major places that is very attractive for foreigners, and it's because of the infrastructure and what these two different parts provide. So Poblado is the high-end part in Medellin. It's where it is the safest. It has more restaurants, a lot of high rises. It's located. So Medellin is located in a valley. So you obviously get a lot of good views when you're up on the mountainside. And the number one area is Poblado on the mountainside. And but it is, yeah. I'd say that it's funny. It's 90% of the people who comes to Medellin the first time, they stay in Poblado. And why? It's because if you start to search about Medellin, you will get up most articles, most information about Poblado. And it's also where on Airbnb, where people come, or hotels, you have, it's very dense in comparison to other cities, other parts of the city. The second area is Laureles, which is located down in the valley. So that is more popular for people who maybe been there the second, or third time, and I do appreciate walkability over views. So that's the two difference.
And if someone's considering moving to Colombia, what kind of house prices are you looking at? Can you buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, or would they want to buy a 3-bed, 2-bath house, or are they going to want to rent?
I'd say that you should definitely start to rent. And why? It's because Medellin is great, and I obviously love it. I've been over 7 years now, but it's maybe not something for everyone. So you can easily start out with. I would start out with an Airbnb in a nice, good area in Poblado, and would read the review, make sure that it's safe, it has all the requirements that you're looking for. And 1-bedroomer high season now would be about 1,500. 1 to 2 bedroomer 1,500. It can be up to like 2,500 USD if it's really high end and you get really nice views. And yeah, and the 3-bedroomer, you could say it's between 2K to 3 4K when it's furnished. When it's furnished, yes.
Okay.
And so then if we did talk to people about wanting to buy,
Yeah.
what are they able to buy the property and the land together, or do they just have to lease the land and then buy?
So foreigner has the same rights as a local to own property. So there's zero difference. What do differ is the amount of time that you can stay in the country. And that's where the visa comes in. But you can buy a property and you don't need to, there's no special rights so that you need. Like you as a foreigner with a passport had the same rights. And the price per square meter, I need to do the currency exchange here. The price per square meter in Poblado is pretty good to know, and then you can see how big of a place you need.
Hey, Mauricio, we're used to price per square foot.
Okay.
The
Price
square
per
meter is
square
not going to mean
feet.
anything, especially
Okay.
me.
It is 1,000. Wait. Square feet. Yeah.
Mark, do you know how many square feet are in a meter? 3.3.
Yeah, I'm doing the conversation. Ah, okay. So it is. I got it here. About 1900 square feet.
And how much would that be?
But it's
Oh
not
yeah.
$1,900 per square feet.
No, no. Ah, sorry. Now I got nervous.
Now
Yeah, yeah. My bad.
just tell me USD what a 3-bed 2-bath house gets you. You know,
100 square. Okay, let's say 1,000 square feet. That would be about 200 USD, 200,000 USD.
oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
very affordable for a lot of
I have
people.
a good friend of mine. We stayed at his house, and I'm here with another.
You got to get closer, David.
And the house we were in Rio. What did you call the airport area?
It's Rio Negro.
Rio Negro. And he bought a house, Terry. It has 2 million. It was wait. He said it would be about $12 million in the United States. It's on 2 acres, and it's so beautiful. I'm going to show you pictures, Terry. But they had 500 chickens. They had 3 horses, 3 llamas, 3 dogs, and it's in the mountains, and it's so beautiful. And so he was talking about how in Las Vegas, where I'm from, that house would be about $12 million. He purchased the home for 800,000.
Yeah, I
Wow.
believe
Sound
that.
about right?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And so one of the things that you talked about before was that the attraction to your country is the cost of living. Can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
talk about the cost of living and what that looks like for food and for entertainment and things like that?
Yeah, I'd say that if you live in Medellin, you're spending one person for one bedroomer. You're spending about 1,500 in rent. You can have a maid, and she charge about $15 a day
Wow.
for a whole day, and then she's there, she's doing the cleaning, she's doing the laundry, and that gives you obviously more time so you can focus on work. And since it's a lot of people who works online, so it's a lot of people who like to add that. And then you can also have, for example, if you want a personal trainer, let's say that you play squash, you can have a squash trainer come home to your unit. If you're paying 1,500, you're probably having a squash court in the building, you have a gym in the building, and the squash trainer takes about $10 for 1 hour class. So, and then if you're out and having a nice meal, I'd say that's about 1/3 about the price that you pay home in the US, depending on where, but in any major city, like 1/3 for a high end nice meal. You're spending about 50-60 bucks for 2 people.
Well, and it looks like internet's not an issue either. You guys are very clear, and I can hear you just fine. So it looks like internet's not an issue either.
Internet is normally not an issue, but it's still it's a third world country. So I mean, we have internet, but if it's technical issues, it can take like 2-3 hours to fix. But it's normal, not an issue.
I see.
Mauricio, you were just talking about the food. I just had probably one of the best hamburgers I've ever had in my life. Terry, it was so good. And so I guess we're going to go on a tour and see Pomona 13. Is that
Oh
what it's
yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah. The graffiti
So,
tour.
and they have this beautiful gondola ride that you can go up the mountains. There's so much to do. Can you talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
yeah.
some of the attractions in this area?
Yeah. So if we're gonna talk about La Comuna 13, I would have to talk a little bit more about the history about Medellin. Because 30 years ago, Medellin was very, very different from what it is today. It was actually one of the most dangerous cities for civil people, and La Comuna 13. So Medellin is divided into 18 different comunas, and this is Comuna 13. Yeah.
Yes.
And in 1991, this was the most dangerous area in the city, which was the most dangerous city for civil people. So the transformation in that area has been tremendous. And what they mostly have done is that they have added gondolas, like how do you say that? Yeah, like when you go to ski resort. So a lot of parts in Medellin, because it's in a valley up on the hills, you can see these gondolas going up and down, and it's to make the opportunities for the less unfortunate people up in the hill to connect to the city, so they can get a job and don't need to spend 4 hours because they need to like maybe walk down from one hill, take a bus to one place, and then another train, etc. So they're connecting the whole city, and the La Comuna 13